Why you come dressed up as a paramedic again?
I'm not dressed up.
They all know we don't have jobs. This is what we do.
Apparently, that is what we do.
Welcome back. I looked over here and the camera isn't there anymore. Welcome back to the Sunday League Effect, the football podcast where we get everything wrong, but we're so confident that you almost believe it. Well, I get everything wrong. Nick doesn't. Nick's just an innocent bystander that gets hit by some strays.
I do get hit by strays. It's madness. So I'm Nick, here with the ever opinionated Mike.
Yep. I'm our version of Simon Jordan.
Yeah, I was thinking more Joe Barton, but...
Oh, no. Just jump out my nan's curtains into the kitchen.
Today we've got a bit of a spicy one. I don't know why I said that to you. Today we've got a bit of a spicy one because you guys don't know. So we're going to take on some of the comment section critics because...
If you don't know, I'll put a link up here for what we're going to allude to throughout this video. There was one of our clips that went viral for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, well, the opinion was right, but the kickback that we got from it...
the clip was wrong. So the clips are made to trudge up numbers.
Yeah.
So the clip's done exactly what it's meant to do. But
absolutely.
What I failed to realise when I made the clip or when I said it is that I didn't do a very good job of preceding it or superseding it to fit it into a perfect narrative for it to make sense to the ever deluded football fan.
Deluded is the right word.
Because
as well.
what people have seen is Jude Bellingham runs about and nothing else matters. Yeah. That's not what I said.
And he's also the same as Conor Gallagher.
And also Conor Gallagher's the same player, which is not what I said. But we'll get into that anyway. Go on, carry on, sorry.
No, but I mean, that's right. It's a good starting point for that, of how this might be a little bit of a fiery one today. So we'll recap, obviously, the Premier League matches over the weekend.
We won't do the weekdays because we've been away for about 10 days. Nick was away. Then I was away for my daughter's gym competition. So time to do it.
It'll take too long as well. We're going to predict who's crashing the Champions League party as well. Mm-hmm. So that's obviously quite an interesting battle coming towards the end of the season as well.
The only battle that's left, really.
Yeah,
there is nothing else here.
FA Cup?
Yeah, FA Cup, but...
I know what you mean.
Man City is still in it. Man City will win the FA Cup.
I hope they don't.
Same.
And a stat-based game that may or may not be entirely made up. Who knows?
Well, it sounds off. So let's kick off with a little bit of public shaming.
Okay.
Mainly, that falls on my doorstep.
Yeah.
So again, if you haven't seen the clip, go and watch it. It's on all our socials. The comments are turned off on Instagram. Let's not get it twisted. It's what we want. We want people seeing us. We want to reach the masses, which it did.
And we want interaction.
Yeah, of course we do. But it was very overwhelming for us in such a short period of time. We've gone from steadily building up to all of a sudden having a load dumped on our doorstep that we weren't ready to really respond to. As you can see, we're very amateur. I've got my nan's curtains up. Great comment, by the way. I like that one. That was a good one.
Hang on, wait, someone commented that?
Yeah, someone said in his mum's basement with his nan's bedding, his curtains or something like that. And another one, actually, this is a really good one. It was like, open up the curtains, brother, and see the light.
That's good.
To be fair, some of them are really good. And them ones I don't mind. And anyone that wants a conversation, I don't mind. But when you have the idiots just posting non-comments, like, it's just, you do realise how this works. You comment in there, saying stuff like, sell the podcast equipment, podcasts need this, dead podcast. All these horrible comments are doing exactly what you're trying to avoid. You're promoting it because that's what pushed the number so much higher than what it would have got to.
So
for a misinterpretation of what I was trying to say.
This is literally everything that social media is at the moment. Well, as always been really, is that because there are, for example, Bonnie Blue.
Who's that?
Most people know who Bonnie Blue is. If you don't know, you will find her on places like OnlyFans and adult websites.
Or my favourite podcast. She was on my favourite comedy podcast, Bad Friends, with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino.
They are amazing.
They're so good. And Bobby Mum.
But obviously, everybody was saying, she's been shagging all these guys, whatever. And like what a hoe she is and things like that. But she's got exactly what she wanted from that. She's now making money out of that. out of the guys, out of everybody else's hate.
Like, there's no such thing as bad press in this
No.
this industry. But what I want to alleviate is people thinking, one, that we don't know what we're talking about in terms of football, and two, that we don't put time and effort into this, because whether you like us or you don't, this takes a lot of time, and it's easy to sit behind a screen with no face and comment idiocies. It's easy to do that. The hard thing is putting yourself out there. And yes, I understand we're out here to be shot at, but if you're gonna fire shots, at least come with some kind of factual prowess, not just insolence and aggressive, pointless comments. Because we're not going to respond to them anymore. Like, it's not worth it.
It's done now. If that's how you want to like come at us about it, that's fine. I'm not even going to look at it.
Yeah,
I'll get rid of it. I'm not bothered. Like,
but anyway, it leads us on to the segment that I've got planned now. So, segment 1, Misinterpretation Station.
So apparently, and this is what Mike has said. When you said that Jude Bellingham looks busy, that was interpreted as Jude Bellingham is not a good player, which is a bold statement.
Bold and also incorrect.
Incorrect. Yeah.
I've said so many times, and again, I hold my hands up because I've made the clip, so I know that I put myself out there to look like an idiot in this sense, because it's for drama. Whatever anyone thinks, the clips are only there to drive engagement, good or bad. It's meant to bring you here. What I didn't do a good job of in that particular episode was talk about Jude in a positive light. So it does look like I'm digging him out. And yes, a lot of my clips are about Jude, and it's in a negative light. That's because he's a good talking point.
Absolutely.
Jude Bellingham is arguably the most talked about football player currently. Yeah. And he's British.
Of course he is.
So why wouldn't we talk about him?
And that's it.
So did you see his reaction to getting taken off at the weekend?
No.
So he booted the VAR stand. Petulance. But I won't talk about that because I'm not allowed to.
I'm going to clip that.
But
this is where people need to understand the line of what is okay and what is not okay. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion.
Exactly.
If you don't like that opinion, have a conversation. Like Mike said, he will happily talk to you for days about it.
There's testament to that throughout the comments of all our socials, and even in that clip on YouTube. I've had conversations with people, and so let me just clarify. I didn't compare him to Gallagher. What I said was Gallagher does a similar thing in running about a lot, and people thought for a period of time at the time that he was this really good player. Jude runs about a lot to cover what he somewhat lacks in places at the minute. He's 21 years old and he will get better. That's not me saying he is the same player as Conor Gallagher. What I'm saying is that in England, the everyday fan is easily fooled into thinking you're a great player if you run about a lot. Yeah. Declan Rice is another example. Because he has high energy, people think he's awesome. He's okay. Jude Bellingham is an awesome player. So I'm throwing him in with these players that I don't think are, but he is. Yeah. And it's hard to explain when I'm getting heated and when I'm getting pressed on it as well.
Yeah, of course.
But I know what I mean, and if you really understand football, I think you know what I mean.
But this, and like a very fair point that you said not too long ago, the people that agree with you won't say anything. The people that disagree with you will say anything. The people that sit in their basements of their mother's houses and play with kitty cats, they're the ones that comment.
Yeah.
A negative, abusive things.
Unfortunately, it does have an effect. So this probably leads into what the undertone of what we wanted to do when we started, in that mental health matters.
Of course, it's massive.
Your words carry a lot more weight than just letters on a screen. Yeah. So we're fortunate enough that we do this with each other, and we have people around us to really pull us out of
we've got people to lean on, haven't we?
Well, it pulls us out of the bubble that this could potentially be, and it is for a lot of people. We have lives, we have jobs, we have families. Yeah. If we didn't, misinterpreting what I'm saying could have massive ramifications when you decide to hit these personal, aggressive, unnecessary comments about someone who you don't know, commenting on someone who, quite frankly, will never see any of it. It doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter. Bigger picture, it don't matter. No. But that's enough of the real stuff. We're going to make it a little bit more lighthearted now.
Yeah, but I think it's good for us to touch on the real stuff every now and then, because I think people need to understand that although we're talking to a camera, we put ourselves in the public spotlight, no matter how big or how small the public spotlight that we're in is, people need to understand we are normal people.
Yeah, it's funny because like you see it all the time. Like people are prone to mistakes. Like it's human nature to make a mistake.
Absolutely.
That wasn't a mistake. The mistake was the way that I clipped it, not what I said. I stand by what I said. I don't know what I've done here, but it happens all the time. Like Eni Aluko suffers massively because she makes mistakes with a lot of the things that she says.
Yeah,
it's no worse than what Michael Owen says, but Michael Owen's now just a joke. He doesn't get abuse.
No, it's just funny now.
But Eni Aluko does get abuse
because she's a woman.
Yeah, because she's a woman. I want to hear what my favourite tweet back to us was, or comment was back to us.
Yeah.
It was, you should need a licence for a podcast. I like that. And the irony is, right, because I agree, it'd be so much easier to do like a test for a licence to then be monetised rather than trying to get people to subscribe, comment, like, and that's a great segue.
Yeah.
To get to a certain point where you're automatically made available to make money. Because we don't make money. These numpties are playing this game of like a merry-go-round. They're saying you shouldn't be doing it, yet they're promoting it by saying stop it.
Almost like it's not devil's advocate.
It's just a vicious circle.
Yeah.
Or a perfect circle for us.
The circle of podcast.
Just a bit of clarification.
Cool.
I don't hate Jude. I'm not a racist bigot.
Good.
It wasn't a comparison to Gallagher. And we do overreact for fun.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So, and yes, we do still watch football. I watch it more than Nick and still play.
At a good enough level, I would say, as well.
Yeah. We just choose chaos.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to make another clip that's going to upset people in a few weeks about Jude Bellingham again.
Let's move on before we misinterpret ourselves. The weekend whistle.
Yep. So let's get into the weekend action, and we'll start with the main talking point of the weekend. It's Liverpool's second loss of the season. What a game.
Was a really good game if you're a Fulham fan.
Mate, there must be Arsenal, City, any of the chasing pack, really. The fans around the country that are just fuming because they're so far away from a crumbling Liverpool. I tweeted it out earlier in the week against Everton when they just about scraped a win.
Yeah.
They're rocking and rolling and they're really clawing to get over the finish line.
This is it. It's almost like they've got to a certain point of points away. Yeah. And they've gone, right, okay.
Well, they need 2 wins,
just forgotten.
They're not even playing well. Like it's so bad.
This is what I mean. The Everton game they scraped past. The Fulham game they were lucky to have it at 3-2.
Well, I think when Fulham went 3-1 up deservedly. Great goal by the way by Muniz. Muniz's goal was as well.
To be fair, even McAllister's goal was really good.
McAllister's goal was really good. It was actually a good game for a neutral. Yeah. It's just a shame that the title race is over and it was pretty much a dead rubber.
Sort of meant nothing.
Because with Arsenal dropping points, I'm just looking at the table now. Yeah. They're 11 points behind Liverpool even after that loss. It could have been 9.
Yeah.
And that's
it keeps the pressure
the way
up
Liverpool
slightly.
are playing. Yeah. You couldn't really argue against the possibilities of it happening. Obviously, it's not going to happen because that would be a capitulation of the ages. Yeah. But 9 points is a lot better than 11. And they still got to go to, I think it's the Emirates they've got to go to. Liverpool, I'm not too sure now because they lost. Yeah. They could have got the title at the Emirates for that game.
Jesus. And that would have been a real kick in the teeth for Arsenal fans, wouldn't
it? Yep. But it's a good game.
It was a good game. Some nice goals in there. I do actually have a man of the match as well for that.
Okay.
So, Sessegnon,
he's been quality since he's come back.
Is exactly what I thought during that game. His goal was really good. I mean, there were some really good goals across that anyway. But he was getting about.
He was a menace.
Yeah. He caused so many problems down that right side.
Was he playing down the right side?
Yeah.
Why was he playing down the right? Because he was a left back when he was originally at Fulham.
I'm not sure, but his pressure on Robertson led to Iwobi's goal.
The mistake, wasn't it? It was Robertson's mistake twice.
Yeah.
Well, you got a touch on the goal when it went in. Yeah, it was Iwobi's goal. Yeah. But yeah, just on Sessegnon quickly, because when he was first at Fulham, and I think they got relegated and he moved to Tottenham, or if they might not have. Apologies, Fulham fans, if you didn't, but I'm pretty sure you did. Yeah. He moved to Tottenham and it never really happened for him. And he went as a young man, young left back with seemingly the world at his feet. Yeah. And his career sort of gone the same way as Tottenham's. Yeah. In the Premier League over recent years. It's just slowly declined. He got out on a free, went back to his boyhood club in Fulham. And I know he hasn't started all them games. He's had his injury problems, but he looks like the player that left.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's playing down the right though. So if anyone can clear that up for me, please do, because I know he's a left back, or he was a left back.
Could just be an adjustment to injuries, things like that. And
He's playing higher up as well. Obviously, he's playing.
Yeah.
He played like right wing, and it must have been to put Robertson onto his weak foot, maybe.
Yeah, I mean potentially, yeah, because then obviously
rather than going outside.
Yeah, the press on there helps, and obviously it did help them get 2 of their goals.
I didn't have a player of the match, but I did like Muniz' goal.
Yeah, Muniz
scored home and away against Liverpool.
McAllister's goal though, I really
like McAllister.
Yeah, he's a solid player.
It's a shame about Tarkowski trying to kill him midweek.
Yeah,
you saw that. I think I've got this somewhere in here later, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
but that was an odd one. But it's the only game we're really going to talk about in any sort of detail.
I don't think
towards the end of the season, nothing massive.
There's no shockers
things.
Really.
No, we'll talk obviously about something in a second, but obviously you got the Manchester derby, absolute snooze fest.
Boring.
The most exciting thing was the fact KDB announced his leaving the day before.
That was his last derby, and it was 0-0.
What is? I know Sky spoke about this afterwards, but what has happened to the Great British derbies? Why does no player care anymore? They're hugging, they're laughing, they're joking. There's no fight. There's no desire.
You saw that in Bruno Fernandes and Silva, wasn't it? They were laughing and joking between themselves
because they're compatriots.
Yeah,
I don't. What has happened to the fight and the want for your shirt?
I just don't think the players don't come in for the right reasons anymore.
That's all money.
Like
those two teams, people come in for money. If you move to Manchester United now, if you're a top player and you move to Manchester United now, it's for nothing else other than a payday.
Yeah, that's all it can be, because United aren't successful at the moment.
It's shambolic. Like if you look at the way specifically United have signed people over the last 5-6 years, and gone nowhere. They've got rid of manager after manager, blame the manager,
player after player.
The cycle just goes on, and this one isn't even going to last 3 years. We alluded to it when he came in. 3 years is the cycle. He ain't going to last 3 years because they're not going to win Europa.
If he carries on in the trajectory that he's on, he'll make it to the end of the season, and that'll be it. He'll be done.
It's unbelievable. Like he and Ange are both so lucky that the teams in the bottom 3 are so much worse than them.
Yeah, so lucky.
I've said it before, but Man City ain't much better. They're fucking dreadful. There's back to what I was actually making. There's no desire in these derbies anymore. You look across the league. There's none. The Merseyside derby, the last couple, to give it credit, has had a bit more bite to it.
I think that's more Everton than Liverpool, though.
Yeah, probably. Because they're fighting against it.
Yeah.
And they know it could be a springboard for their season, which it was when they got their point at Goodison. North London derby, dead rubber the fans. It means more to the fans than it does the players, which it always does anyway. But if you look at across the way to, I know you call it the Farmers League, but if you look across to the Old Firm derby, even though the players, there's only 3 Scottish players across the 2 teams. Yeah, they're still fighting it. And yes, I'm not talking about the standard before anyone misinterprets that, because the standard is not the same. But they care and they know what it means to put the shirt on. But these shirts here of years gone by used to mean something. Maybe not the West Ham one because they're still a pile of shit. But Celtic did, Inter Milan, PSV, all these teams. I wonder if their derbies hold any weight. What about the Milan derby? Do you reckon it holds weight still? I know they had the game in the week.
I imagine so, because you find that in European games that they are.
El Clasico ain't the same.
No, but again, they're 2 massive clubs that most people go for money. I'll tell you actually on that. So obviously I was in Poland for the Polish Super Cup final, I think it was. I didn't manage to get to the game because it wasn't in Krakow. I don't even know where it was in the end. The amount of police that were around the train station was unreal.
Because they're all nutters, mate.
Yeah,
that's why.
Right, so we're walking back towards the tram to get back into town, and shots are fired. All of a sudden, 8 paddy wagons drive past, helicopter above, chasing after someone. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I wasn't in the centre of town then.
And you're English as well. Everyone hates us.
I know. I don't look English though, so it's fine.
No, you don't. You don't look Polish either, mate.
No, I just sort of blend into the background.
Yeah, you look like a misfit.
Yeah, but derby days are no longer what they used to be because most players are there for money and not for the
cash
club.
cow.
Yeah,
it's just a cash cow.
That. Everton versus Arsenal, a slightly better game than the Manchester derby. I thought Pickford was really lucky to get away with his slips. How he's managed to get away with that, I don't know. I also don't think the penalty was a penalty.
Nah.
From the looks of it,
it started outside the box.
Yeah.
And Lewis Skelly falls and barely touches him.
And he goes down.
Yeah, and then he gets back up
because his arm is there.
He's not even looking for it. I don't. The Arsenal fans, I fully get being unhappy with that. I do.
Yeah, I agree.
But you can't keep blaming decisions like this on the reason why you're 11 points behind Liverpool.
No,
There's been opportunities to win games and you haven't taken them. Unfortunate against Everton because
they had opportunities in that game as well.
To be fair, I know they got a penalty, but I wouldn't say they didn't deserve a point.
No, absolutely.
It wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But it's misinterpreted.
Arsenal season's over. It's on to Tuesday. Tomorrow, play Real Madrid. Gabriel out for the season. Do you give him any hope? In honesty, let's not try and get too emotional. Let's not try and say it's something outrageous. Do you think Arsenal could knock Real Madrid out? Honestly,
no, not with Bellingham in the middle.
I think without Gabriel, I didn't give him much hope. But with Saka being back, I did start thinking maybe. But without their dog in defence, because that's what Gabriel is, he's their dog.
Yeah.
William Saliba's the calm, cool, select one. But Gabriel's the one that will bite someone when the ref's not looking.
He will chase
stick his head,
everything down.
Like he will do stuff like John Terry used to do, and that doesn't mean shag your wife. It just means put his head in places that it probably shouldn't be. Again, could be
John Terry.
But I just find it would take a monumental performance over two legs and Real Madrid to have to be off it.
Yeah, which it's
Real
not.
Madrid, look,
it's not uncommon.
It's not unheard of, and it's not again beyond the realms of possibilities. But we've said it before, and we're not the only ones that have said it. You guys will know if any of you watch football, which I'm sure you do. Real Madrid just know how to win these games. They know how to win the Champions League. Similar to Liverpool, like they just know how to do it.
They know how to push through to the final.
Yeah,
sort of with ease. Almost.
You don't need to compare the teams to know the Real Madrid have more than enough.
Oh yeah, they've got a lot more talent. They've got a lot bigger stars, but
stranger things have happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm hoping to see a good game tomorrow.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm just hoping it's going to be a good game.
I hope it's a close game. If nothing else, I hope we go into the second leg with it going either way.
Yeah,
potentially. So I'm not. Where is the game tomorrow? Is it at home or away? Do you want to look out quickly?
It's at Arsenal. The home leg.
Yeah, it's not overrated. I don't mean to say it's overrated taking the lead into the second leg. It's not, but there is an over-reliance on a first leg lead.
Yeah.
Especially when it gets to the latter stages.
Absolutely.
Spurs, Southampton. Spurs won 3-1. Earliest relegation in Premier League history, that is Southampton.
I did know that. Yeah.
Still, I think they're 2 points behind what Derby was at this point.
So if they don't... Well, if they just...
No, so Derby was on 11 points at this point and they finished on 14.
Yeah.
Southampton, I believe, only have 9. Or 10, they've got 10 points. So they're 1 point behind. I actually drew, didn't they, with Palace.
They need 4 points before the end of the season.
Yeah. And they've got 7 games left.
It's not impossible, but...
That's nearly half what they've got all season.
Yeah.
But they just play West Ham. So that's a win.
Maybe.
They're relegated now, so the pressure's off. I wouldn't be surprised if they go and win their next game.
Win the next 7.
But, I mean, it's the worst kept secret in history. Southampton finally relegated.
Yep.
Leicester are going to be joining them soon.
Yeah.
Ipswich, unfortunately, I thought when they were 1-0 up against Wolves...
That was going to be...
Could it happen? Could it happen? And then Wolves decided that they are a Premier League team and...
Went, nah.
Sorry, lads. Get out.
Glad you had fun, but it's over now.
So Southampton are relegated. When they're coming back up?
They'll probably bounce back.
Yeah, probably bounce back up and go straight back down again.
Yeah. Or they'll do what Luton did.
Southampton won't do that. Southampton are a bigger club than Luton.
Yeah, Luton are about to get relegated again.
It's close to the bottom of the Championship though. I looked at it the other day because I saw Plymouth won.
Yeah, Plymouth have been really good. Yeah, against us. Yeah. And we lost against Bristol.
Bristol? That was Welsh. Don't know what accent that was. Sorry, I've been in Wales.
Yeah.
My bum hurts.
Okay.
Not because I've been in Wales, but just in general.
I'm not going to say
It's these seats. What was you going to say?
I'm not going to say it.
You can say it. It's fine. I can edit it out. It's fine.
Right. I was going to say dressed up as a sheep, were you?
I didn't actually see any sheep.
You saw not how?
Next to the motorway.
Oh, right, fair. That still surprised me, though.
Yeah.
So move on to Villa versus Forest.
Yeah, last game we're going to talk about.
So, not a great amount from this. I mean, Forest missed a lot.
This was arguably the biggest game of the weekend.
Yeah.
In terms of stature of...
positioning and stuff. Lovely touch from Rodgers before he took that shot, which actually, on that, I had a really great touch on the weekend that got a secondary assist. So obviously I passed it forward and then it got passed again. Right. So I didn't get it. But anyway, thank you. Forest did miss a lot of chances. Like
I see Martin is a save today. I didn't see it at the time.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. Like it's one of those, knows nothing about it, but he just somehow like Spider-Man reflexed it and caught it. But so it went 2-0 to Villa early on, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I watched them go 2-1.
15 minutes.
And then I had to go out. So I had to pick them up from the gym. So I didn't see the end of the game.
No.
But for all intents and purposes, looking at Match of Day 2 when I was watching it, was it Saturday night or was it Sunday?
Saturday night.
So Match of Day then when I was watching it.
Yeah.
It looked like Forest had a good few chances.
They did.
And played really well.
They must have had 6 or 7 where it's just gone
not
wide.
today.
And another day it goes in.
Yeah.
It was quite good. Rashford showing that he still has a little bit of pace about him. He was up against someone. Anyway, yeah, one of their, I think it was their centre back, just done him. Absolutely done him. Chipped the keeper. Keeper's just managed to get to it on time. And then what I found really strange though was he fouled the keeper. From what it looked like from the angle I saw it at, and the replays they showed, it looked like what he's done is, so he's chipped the keeper, knows it's not going in, is chasing after it. Keeper's obviously running diagonally to get it first. And it looks like he's just grabbed the keeper and thrown him on the floor.
Yeah.
But luckily the keeper's managed to get it out.
I think I did see this.
And I was like, why have they not pulled that back for a foul?
They still have the ball though. Forest had the ball for a break.
Yeah, but on the edge of their box.
But they were breaking.
I don't think they were breaking. So it was just a bit of an odd one for me. But other than that, not a mass amount of like talking points for it.
No, I think Villa have really turned it on and definitely won the January transfer window. Asensio looks really good.
Yeah. Contrary
to what I thought. I thought he might be a little bit slow for the league, but he seems to be popping up for goals.
He's got to be a bit careful though. He had a few chances where he could have got sent off in that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was just a few little like nibbly bits that I thought, you got to be really careful. Same with Jota in the game against Everton.
Well, the Liverpool game.
Yeah, he got yellow carded. I think it was that one. And then he starts doing the sarcastic clap towards the lino, which can get you sent off.
It's a yellow card, yeah.
Yeah.
Petulance, isn't it?
That's it.
Got some mini awards here.
Yeah, go on.
What was you going to say, sorry?
I was going to say I have one mini award.
Oh, okay. I got one. Fraud Watch. And it's got to be the ref from the Merseyside derby. Real time Tarkowski's tackle. Red card. I was watching it at work. I said to Dan, red card. We both went, ooh, red card.
Yeah.
Give him a yellow. Yeah, fair enough. Not great reffing, but he's going to get sent off. Then goes to VAR. Has literally all the characteristics for a straight red card.
Yeah.
Not given.
It looks like he almost snapped his leg.
I know he got the ball, but there's excessive force. He's high and he's out of control.
Yep. I agree.
What more do you need? And then they come out the next day, Pugamo, PG Moel, whatever the fucking twats call themselves, and go, we made a mistake. Yes, the world knows you made a mistake.
Everybody but you knows that.
What?
It's
so. Again, VAR is not the problem. The people behind VAR there's nothing wrong with the video technology because it shows you what you want to show. It replays the stills and the exact image. It's the people watching it.
Draw lines on it, everything.
Yeah, it's the people watching it that's the problem.
Yeah. So now they need to invent an AI program that can do that for them.
Yep.
And then fire refs.
Yes. Do it.
I actually have a mini award for the best swipe and miss of the week.
Oh, go on.
And that would be Damsgaard.
Okay.
Beating the keeper, goes to shoot, Balls on his ass.
What, missed the ball?
Missed the ball completely.
Against Chelsea?
Yeah.
Oh, he's on the FPL team as well. Fucking. I've got one more for you.
Go on.
And surely you've seen this. Manager meltdown.
Yep.
Did you see old Ange cupping his ears after Pap scored because the Tottenham fans were booing him?
Obviously, I wasn't here for the game.
Yeah.
But I watched the highlights specifically to see this.
It was outrageous. So if you haven't seen it, Pap comes on. There's ironic jeers from the crowd because I think Bergvall came off.
Yeah.
Within like a minute, Pap scored a goal. And Ange just turned around to the fans and cupped his ears and basically give it a little bit of this. Only for the goal to be disallowed correctly because Pap's come through the knee of whoever the player was. I can't remember who it was. And it's just like you're under pressure and you're doing this villain type celebration. The only thing that can be described as Mourinho type tactic. Ange's writing's on the wall. Again, they're not going to win the Europa League either. No. United and Tottenham currently, the way they're playing and the way their managers just haven't got a clue how to get wins on a regular basis.
No, there's no consistency.
No, I just can't see it. But Tottenham fans, how are you feeling about that though? Like, what a clown! Like, what an absolute clown!
I do wonder how many of them will be split between.
I mean, this specific moment with him cupping his ears.
Yeah.
So that take your thoughts on Ange, like in terms of like that moment. That would really piss me off.
Losing the game and doing that is embarrassing.
Yeah, and Pap didn't really do anything. And then he had an interview afterwards, which I actually agreed with, which was a slight redemption arc where he was saying VAR is ruining the game. Again, it's not VAR, it's the people behind it, but I get the premise of what he's saying.
They say it because it's VAR as a whole, isn't it?
We're losing the sport we love, and the Premier League right now, whether you like to admit it or not, is almost undigestible on a regular basis. Yeah. Super Sunday this week was one of the worst Sundays of football I've ever experienced.
They've got to stop putting derby days on there. Put them on at 3 o'clock. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, especially when they're dead rubbers.
Yeah.
Top 5 forecast.
What are your thoughts of how we're going to look maybe towards the end of the season?
Well, I'll put the table up here on the screen. I don't know why I did this on the screen for you guys to see it. So whilst we're talking about it, because we got it up here. So what are we looking at? Chelsea on 53 points, City on 52, Villa 51, Newcastle 50, Fulham 48, and even as far down as Brighton on 47 are all within touching distance of that top 5. I can definitely see, I know I alluded to it last week or the week before, I can see Chelsea dropping out just the way that they're performing. They've not been very good.
No.
Newcastle got one of the more favourable run-ins, I believe.
Yeah.
Villa look like they're going from strength to strength. Rashford scoring, Asensio scoring, Marlon scoring now. When was the last time Watkins scored, by the way?
I didn't.
We're not talking about Watkins anymore.
No.
Just remember my clip way back where I said that he'll be a sub for Duran. Duran's gone, so that can't happen, but Watkins will be gone in the summer. Fulham have stagnated a little bit, so I'd probably go as far down as Newcastle in 7th.
Oh, you can't say Fulham have stagnated. They just beat the league leaders.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Fuck. Well, all right. I'll count them back in.
And they looked incredible.
I'll count them back in.
Right, okay.
Newcastle got 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
Because they're playing tonight. They're playing Leicester, so they will go up to join 4th with Chelsea when they beat Leicester.
What's the goal difference?
And if they beat them by 7 goals or more, they'll go above. So they'll be joint 4th after tonight with a game in hand still.
Yeah.
City, I can see probably doing enough. So I think it's going to be Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest, Newcastle, City.
I didn't realise that Forest has got that sort of gap. I mean, I know it's only 4 points, but 4 points with only 7 games left, and with the way that Nottingham Forest are playing, if you scratch out the Villa game, because Villa just outclassed them all across the board. But
that's the only thing we're talking about in the Premier League this season, which is a bit of a shit shame.
Yeah.
Shit shame? Bit of a shame.
Balloon, isn't it, really?
Yeah. We want to see title races and relegation fights, but it's all a foregone conclusion.
I mean, the relegation fights at the beginning of the season were interesting. Then it got to Christmas, and I think they just died out. And we sort of knew
they weren't. I don't think that was ever interesting. It's been these.
Well, yeah, because
it's been these 3 for ages.
But what I mean is, United and Tottenham were both looking like they could get dragged into it. I know it was never going to happen because it never does. But they looked like they could have. Like there was always a potential that they could have.
Well, that's it. It's potential, but because those three are still so shit, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, that would be me. I'd go, but first top three staying as it is, and then I'd have Newcastle, City in 4th and 5th.
Do you know what? I don't disagree with you. Apart from, I feel that Villa could scrape in there over either City or Newcastle.
I don't think Champions League. They've got a. I mean, now you're in the what? Are they in the semis? Is it semis or quarters?
Yeah, quarters.
Whatever it is, they've got PSG. They've got a more favourable side of the tie.
True, and I mean, so they might get fatigued by that. But
I mean, not that. I think they're just going to concentrate on the Champions League. Why wouldn't you at this point?
I suppose if you win the Champions League, you come back into it, don't you?
But it's a massive trophy, and they're in the FA Cup still as well.
Oh shit, yeah. So they've got that to play for.
Yeah, they've got cups.
They've got Crystal Palace in the semis.
Yeah, that'd be a good tie.
Yeah, right. Will be, especially with the way that Palace are playing at the moment.
Mm-hmm. But so, who do you think then?
I'd go Liverpool, Arsenal, Nottingham Forest. I think Newcastle might pip to 4th over City because I feel like City are going to have a harder running than the rest. Like you said, Newcastle don't have it that difficult towards the end.
I think it's just slightly favourable.
Yeah, so I'd say Newcastle in 4th, City in 5th,
and City also have FA Cup as well, so they've got eggs in other baskets.
Yeah,
Chelsea have the Conference League, Villa have Champions League and FA Cup.
So
Newcastle only have the league.
I think Chelsea are going to probably finish just 6th.
I hope so, but
I think they'll struggle to get into top 5, but it's not impossible.
Well, he's going at the end of the season, Maresca. I told you he would.
Yeah.
Fans had enough of him already. But anyway, enough about the top 5. Let's get into our random game of the week, which is going to be, whose stat is it anyway? All right?
Yep.
So I explained to you before, but for you lovely folk out there, we've got some obscure stats that may or may not be true. So I'm going to say one, Nick's going to guess if it's true or false, and I'll give him the answer. Then he'll say one, vice versa. We're going to go through, we've got 4 each.
Yes.
Play along with us, and we're going to do, should we do a forfeit?
Yeah.
Pick a forfeit. We'll start off meek and mild, and if you guys can give us forfeits within reason.
Yeah, please. Like if it's shave your head, that's not fair.
I think that's really fair.
I disagree. Shave your beard.
That's not fair.
We'll start nice and light.
Yeah.
Our first away trip during the summer. Mm-hmm. Beers are on the loser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All day, shots, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, the winner, all you have to pay for is your transport.
All
right. Sweet.
You ready to go?
No.
Do you want to go first or second? Heads or tails?
Heads.
It's tails. I went first. Right. You ready?
I think so.
Right. So, are you guys ready? Crystal Palace made history with 2 red cards and still won. So they became the first team in Premier League history to win a home game after receiving 2 red cards. True or false?
True.
Do you want to answer now?
No, we'll do it at the end.
All right.
We'll just tally up our own points. Danny Welbeck is Brighton's leading top goal scorer with 33 goals.
Well, in Premier League history?
Brighton's all-time top goal scorer.
False. Southampton's all-time low. Southampton are the first team in Premier League history to be relegated with 7 games remaining. True or false?
True. Only 8 teams have never been relegated from the Prem.
Current teams?
8 teams across the 60-odd teams that have played in the Premier League. Only 8 teams have never been relegated from the Premier League.
False. Definitely lost this. Matera is quietly elite under Glasner. Only Isak and Haaland have more non-penalty goals in the Premier League than Mateta's 23 since Oliver Glasner took charge. True or false?
False. Peter Cech has the most Premier League clean sheets.
True. Crystal Palace's win over Brighton was their first home victory of the season. True or false?
Oh, God. I'm going to go false, but it also sounds like it could be.
Okay.
Man City's 106 goals scored in the 17-18 season is the highest amount of goals ever scored in a Premier League season.
True.
Can we go over it?
God.
Do you want me to do all four of mine first?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, so Danny Welbeck
Yeah.
is Brighton's all-time top goal scorer.
Bollocks.
Wait.
Yeah.
You got this one right, though.
Okay.
Because it's with 31 goals, not 33.
That's pedantic, but I'll take it.
Take the point. I'll take it off you if you want.
No, I'll have it.
You were right. Only 8 teams have never been relegated from the Prem. You said false. That is correct. 6 teams have never been relegated.
So who the 6 are?
I didn't write that down.
Okay.
Peter Cech is the most Premier League clean sheets, and Man City 106 goals scored in the 17-18 season was the highest ever amount of goals scored.
So 4 out of 4.
You got 4 out of 4, yeah?
Get him. Come up there. Right, so
I might have to take that first one off you, depending on what my score is.
So Crystal Palace,
Yeah.
receiving 2 red cards and being the first team to win a home game after receiving 2 was in fact true.
Yes.
Southampton are the first team to ever get relegated with 7 games remaining.
That's 2 for 2.
Mateta. What did you say again?
I said this was false.
Okay, it's true.
Fuck!
Only Isak and Haaland have scored more goals that are non-penalties than Mateta since Glasner took over. And Crystal Palace win over Brighton was their second home victory of the season. So you got that right.
I got 3 out of 4, which isn't as bad as I thought I was going to.
We should keep. I like that. We should keep track of that.
Yeah, I bet. But more than now. God.
That was good. I like that one.
Well, yeah.
How did you guys get on? Did you get better than him?
You say better than him. It's not like I didn't get any. I got 3 out of 4. Like,
yeah.
If it was any longer, it'd look a lot worse. So that's all from us today on the Sunday League Effect. If you laughed, cringed, got a bit mad, maybe, so. Mission accomplished.
Exactly that. Addressed what we wanted to.
Absolutely.
But next week we'll be back again. We'll be talking a little bit about the Champions League as we get into the final stages. Yeah. Again, we'll talk a little bit about the weekend fixtures. Hopefully no more VAR disasters.
Referee disasters.
We didn't really talk about the ones midweek because I don't think we need to.
No. They've been and gone. The mistakes were made.
Yep. But if you haven't already, please do go follow us on all of our socials.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell here. If you liked us, if you don't like us, let us know why. Politely, please.
Yeah. Have a conversation with us instead of being a petulant child that just isn't happy with what we've said.
Yeah.
That is what I would say.
I would agree. And that's it.
I think that is everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Peace.
Peace.